Hello, my name is Rae Ellen Sievert. I'm the resident astrologer for Light Body Academy. A few days ago, before this super new moon that we're having today, April 17th, 2026, I started talking about how this new moon super conjunction was playing out in each of the houses. Now, what I'm going to do is share my screen so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry about that. Let's start over again. I'm going to share my screen. This came up. I don't know why it disappeared, but anyway, I'm going to do this again. There we go. Okay. Um, there was a kind of a delay there. Not sure what, but this is a snapshot picture of the new moon that we are working with today. This happened at 7:51 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And as you can see, there is a giant conjunction. Now, I have talked about conjunctions before in the past, but conjunctions are conception. It means energies are coming together. It's kind of like when you have a new little baby being born, you have the sperm and the zygote coming together, and you don't know exactly how the baby's going to turn out. It has to go through a gestation period. Same thing with the conjunction in astrology. It means it's a new beginning, but we don't know how it's going to play out. But this new moon happening in Aries in Western tropical astrology um, is a time of building our identity in a particular field of existence that we are going with. And each of us have a chart just like this, and it's divided into 12 little sections. And each of those 12 little sections are called houses. So, what I'm going to go through is kind of identify which house and if this conjunction falls in that first house, second house, or third house, what it means in your life. So, this particular conjunction happens in the 12th house, and that has to do with our deep, deep subconscious. Now, if you have this super conjunction in your 12th house, that means you have the ability to go deep within yourself and know that you would like to initiate something, but it has to be at an extreme intuitive level. That's trusting yourself and your intuition above all. And over the next few months, this is what you will be developing, especially the next month, because the new moon is a 28 to 29 day cycle. So this particular new moon is at 27 degrees of Aries. So it's the very last, almost the very last degree. There's 30 degrees in each sign for Western astrology. So therefore, the new moon is the beginning of a lunar cycle that many of us go through on a collective level. So, this particular new moon is all about us initiating Neptune, our psychic abilities, Mercury, how we want to express that, Mars, how we want to initiate that, Saturn, how we want to structure that, and the sun and the moon, how do we want to express this in our emotions and bring our identity forth. So, having the new moon in your 12th house would be really listening to your deep inner levels of understanding how you perceive the world around you and initiating how you want to bring that forth. If the new moon falls in your first house, it's definitely identity. It would be an identity crisis. Everything that you would know that you knew about yourself before is coming up to be examined. And you have the decision of how you want to go forward on a spiritual level and bring your soul's growth forward so you can express your truest passions. It's about inspiring a different part of yourself that has been long hidden, but it's all about who you are and how you express yourself to the world around you. The second house has to do with your value system. It has to do with your self worth. It has to do with a manifestation. And if the new moon falls in your second house, you would like to manifest your identity of what you would like to bring, the resources you would like to bring out in the world, what you would like to be known for. And as you do that, it adds to your self worth because you're coming from your identity in a level of creativity and how you and what you love and what your passion is. If this new moon happens in your third house, it's how you want to initiate, how you would like to express yourself. It's about communication. It's about taking all those little tidbits inside of yourself that you've got gathered from here and there, looking at a very deep level and intuitively bringing forth how you would like to communicate to the world in a new way. Because Aries is about newness. It's about initiating. It's about Aries can be combative, but ideally those of you listening to this would not want to proceed forward in a combative way. You would like to come forth in a way that you're coming from your true sense of identity. So, this super new moon in the third house is communicating and restructuring how you intuitively want to bring your communication to the world around you. The fourth house has to do with your foundations, it's bringing forth a sense of security. And so you are initiating in a way that you are bringing forth a sense of, because you have restructured your foundation, you can intuitively express yourself, initiate the way you want to express yourself from a deep core part of yourself. So, this deep core part of yourself is expressing through how you want to nurture people around you, how you want to nurture yourself. Fifth house. Fifth house has to do with creativity. So, having this super conjunction in your fifth house has to do with really listening to those creative voices within yourself. And it's a time to bring forth whether you want to write a book, make a painting, do something new in a job, but bringing your creativity forth. Now, this new moon is also conjunct Chiron. So each of these ways of bringing this forward have to do with healing something deep within you so that you can bring all of this forward. Sixth house has to do with your health, your day to day habits. It has to do with critiquing versus criticizing. So if you have your identity bringing forth in your sixth house, it has to do with how do you want to express yourself in your day to day habits? How do you want to simplify your life? How do you want to minimize your life so that you can bring your strongest life force to the light of day? It's listening to those voices within yourself. If you've always wanted to start a particular food plan, or a new way of attending to your physical body or your psyche, healing that. It's about healing. It has to do with initiating health programs, initiating your speech so that you're not criticizing, but you are critiquing it within yourself and bringing it forth so that you can present what you have to offer in a very insightful way, in the way you perceive things. The super new moon in your seventh house has to do with relationships, one-to-one relationships. So, how do you want to initiate the way you express yourself with your significant other or someone who is very close to you or any of your partnerships within yourself? How can you listen to what they have to say and intuitively understand what they are expressing and what they are bringing forth is coming from their own perception? And you standing back and initiating a new way of communicating with them is a way of healing the relationship at a deep level. The eighth house is birth and death, and it also has to do with deep spiritual investigation. It has to do with the occult. And to me, it has to do with your spiritual inheritance. So, how can you go into a reflective state and understand that you are receptive to the way you want to express yourself, listening to those inner voices so you can go deep, deep down and probably pull forth deep and long lost ancient and ancestral inheritances from the past, from your spiritual past. How can you bring that forward? It's bringing forth those teachings that have been long hidden in your DNA structure. And the way to do that is probably going through contemplation and walking out in nature and making your life conducive so that you can be receptive to what those strong inner voices are telling you and how you would like to express and bring that forward. Ninth house has to do with our truth. It has to do with our belief system. So, is your belief system a dogma that you have been following or what other people say? Or are you listening to the belief within yourself, your inner truth? How can you initiate your inner truth at a deep level of understanding? How can you bring forth this truth so that you can initiate this truth so you can heal yourself and become your truth? Becoming a living, walking expression of who and what your truth is at a very deep, heartfelt level. It does not necessarily, it may be true forever, but it's true in this moment. And it has been said that if you can speak the truth in every moment, you would find out how fast, oh gosh, how many friends you have in your world. Because if you are coming from your truth, your ideal and deep truth, those who stand behind you will understand you at a deeper level and it will flush out anyone that is not aligned with who you would like to have in your life. I guess that's kind of like let's see, pretty intense case of it, but expressing your truth is really important. So, 10th house has to do with how the world around you sees you. It's your career. So, initiating your integrity, your true integrity around the world so that people can follow you because you are walking in your integrity. You are walking in your accountability. You're not, you're coming from that deep part of yourself that has discovered who you are and what you want to bring out to the world so that other people can express what their identity is. And 10th house is accountability as well. It's your career. It might be that you would like, if your career isn't working for you, you may want to initiate a new plan so that you can exit that career, so you can heal yourself and get into a sense of something that is more aligned with your spiritual purpose. And lastly, the 11th house are your goals. It's initiating the goals that you've always wanted to perceive. You may be walking through life and saying, I'm doing this and that, and it just isn't right. So now is the time, this is the time to go in inner reflection and decide what kind of goals you wish to pursue and put a plan in action so that you can initiate a new way of expressing what is aligned with your true nature and your highest self worth. So, this is just a little inkling of what each of these houses have if this super conjunction happens. Now, this conjunction is 6 planets and one of the asteroids, which is Chiron. But there are also several other asteroids involved in this, which I do not have on this chart right now. So it is a super time of really identifying who you really are and how you want to express yourself. It is an identity crisis, and it may be in line with each one of these fields that I talked about, depending on what that may be. So I hope this helps a little bit. And if you wish to go into this a little deeper within your own chart, my name is Rae Ellen Sievert, and you can book a session with me at lightbodyacademy.com. Have a great day.